Hi, Tracy Gritz here. And today's topic each topic of Align Living Live is inspired by something for me that happened during the week. So it's stuff I'm going through, or have experienced, or anything like that. And this week, we were at a friend's house for dinner, and the topic of the shooting in the synagogue in Pittsburgh came up. And of course, everybody is upset and frustrated. Hi, Pammy. Hi, my friend. And I made it. You did. You made it on time. Yay. Yeah, I know. Thank you for fighting the fight with that. So we were at dinner and we were talking about this horrific event that happened. And the event happened and happens because of intolerance. They're intolerant. The person who did the shooting is intolerant of Jews. So they go in, and of course, under intolerance is always fear. There are two places we are always in, and that is either fear or love. And underneath intolerance is fear. So they go in, they shoot, and they have their intolerant, just as the white supremacists are intolerant of anything outside of the white Aryan race, or just gosh, so much intolerance. That intolerance then leads to these horrific acts. I can't even use a better word than horrific, these horrific acts. And so we're going to talk about that and what's an intolerance and how actually we do add in a way to intolerance. Because what happens is, right, we're discussing this at dinner and everybody's very intolerant of people who go and shoot people. There's nobody sitting at the table that's tolerant of that. And so we actually have our own level, we experience our own level of intolerance. Now, not that we're going around shooting people or anything like that, but it is the same frequency energetically. Intolerance is an energetic energy. It's an energetic experience. So when we experience intolerance for these people who do these horrific acts, that energy is the same intolerant energy as the person who does the intolerable acts. We're just not acting out in that manner. And I'm going to explain this further. But first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Tracy Gritz, and this is Align Living Live. It's every Tuesday at 1 p.m., hopefully, unless something comes up and then I text y'all. And if you would like to learn more about Align Living Live, definitely check out my website, tracygritz.com, and click on the tab that says Align Living Live. Or if you'd like to get a text notification, it comes out about 10 minutes before. I don't spam or anything like that. If you'd like to get a text notification on Align Living Live, then text 3847. Text the word Align, ALIGN, to 3847. So hold on. Okay. So we are all energy. I mean, that is quantum physics fact. Everything is energy. That's not something I'm making up. The scientists agree with it. It's just a fact. Everything is energy, and everything emits energy because it's energy and emits a frequency. So when we have these horrific acts, and yet we are intolerant, of course, we would want to be intolerant of these horrific acts because we never want them to happen. This is what the mass shooter is doing. They are intolerant, and they don't want another Jew on the face of the planet. They don't want another person that's not a Caucasian on the face of the planet. This is intolerance. But we, again, are energetic supporters in our own way. And that, again, not doing these things at all. Of course, we're not going out and doing these things, but I just want you to kind of think about that we're just as intolerant of them as they are of the people that they're hurting. ISIS, same idea. We're just as intolerant of them as they are of everybody who doesn't believe in God the way they believe in God. So that's the first step, is to really kind of start to wonder about how we, or just to invite the possibility of how we are actually a part of the problem. And if you imagine all of the people who aren't going around shooting, all the people like us, all of the intolerance that just the day-to-day person has, not the radicalists, imagine how much intolerance, the energy of intolerance is spreading through our planet. It's the energy, the frequency of intolerance. So let's just back out. So I'm going to just set that one aside for a minute. And let's then go to things that I've been intolerant about in my life. Somebody cuts me off. You said intolerant of the acts. Isn't that different than, hold on, let me see. Oh, I've got this new thing and I cannot view the comments today. So I know, yes. So we are intolerant of the act. And this is a really important thing, Pammy. Correct. We usually judge the person, right? At that dinner table, people were saying that person needs to be shot, hung, flogged, you name it. They judge the person and the act. They look at it, and we often, of course, me too in the past, look at things as the whole. We think that person did it. They did that. They should be up. They are so what happens is we are now saying we are this is actually where the inoculation comes. So how to inoculate ourselves against intolerance is what I'm actually going to be speaking to right now, since Pammy brought it up. So are we better than the person next door? Are we better than the person who cut us off? Are we better than the person who is homeless? Are we better than the person that beats their kid? You're going to want to say yes. But if we are all of God, right? If we are all children of God, if everybody, I don't just get to be it. I know who I am. I am absolutely a child of God. I'm absolutely an aspect of the divine and form, just as every other person on this planet is, and everything on this planet is. So if I think that I am better than, that puts me at a level of God, right? That I am God. I'm telling you, I'm not. I might be the child of God, an aspect of the divine in form, however you want to say it, but I am certainly not God. So if you come with the belief, and many of you who watch Align Living Live if you are the belief that we are of God, children of God, of the divine, you whatever, of the universe, whatever word you want to use for the supreme entity, I guess, the creator. So if we are no better because we are all children of the creator, then how can I so that person who did that horrific thing, they experienced intolerance. They did this horrific thing. So am I entitled to say that person deserves to be shot, flogged, hung, whatever? Am I entitled to that? Absolutely not. That's the act. The act deserves retribution, right? The act deserves to have the consequences of the act. The person is the person. The act is separate. The person is the person. Who the person actually is really is, what is at their core, what the truth of who they are is an aspect of the creator. So when we look at these, at the person who did the shooting, and we feel intolerance, one, again, I want you to remember, you are sending that same energy. You are actually having no different. You are sending the same energy out into the world, into the universe, that they did in their shooting. They just elevated what they did about it, how they went about it. So again, the act is the act. The act always is, of course, punishable, however that works in our rules and our laws. And the person, I am no better. So my job, I believe, is to, one, notice where I am intolerant. So the first thing is, one is where I can actually also heal is by noticing my own intolerance. By noticing my own intolerance, two things happen. One, I get to become aware of it. And as I become aware, oh, I'm intolerant, I'm thinking I'm better, I'm more important, I'm more special. Now I can go, okay, I see who they are. Don't love the act. The act is punishable by whatever the laws are. But I choose to see the act as inhumane and horrific. And I choose to see the person for the light that they actually truly were born with when they came into this world. But really, and I've really talked about that on other Aligned Living Lives as well. What I really want to impart here or to discuss is that how we are actually all guilty of, or maybe not guilty, but putting out the energy of intolerance. Here, this person did this horrific thing, and yet we're intolerant of them. It's the same frequency, the same energy. So also, we're intolerant of our own behavior sometimes. If I do something that I don't like, or I don't do something, maybe I don't stand up for something, or maybe I'm afraid to do something, and I'm intolerant of my fear to do that particular thing, I am giving myself intolerance. It's the same frequency, the same energy. So now that intolerance continues to be a force on our planet. So one is when we can see our own intolerance toward ourselves and our behavior. Okay, here's a great one. If I would yell at my kids, I would be so mad at myself. Why'd you yell at your kids? I'm intolerant about that. How could you lose your temper like that, Tracy? There is an intolerance. I'm experiencing the frequency, the energetic experience of intolerance. And I'm giving that to myself. So that I give that to myself. And of course, that goes out into the world. So that's one way. The other way is somebody cuts you off and maybe you're intolerant of that driver. So now who experienced the intolerance? First, you. You're pissed at that driver. That driver just cut you off. How dare they? You energetically experience the tolerance first, and then you spew it energetically into the energy of the planet. This is how we perpetuate. This is how we perpetuate intolerance. So I'm hoping that's making sense. Intolerance, again, is rooted in fear. And the purpose of fear is to create more fears so that fear can exist. The purpose of fear is to create more fear so that fear can exist. So if you're intolerant, that is a subcategory, a result of fear. Now, if you can remember, hey, who am I? I am an aspect of the divine. I am a child of God. I'm a child of the Creator, just as everybody else is. I am no more special. You are no more special. Buddha is no more special. Buddha is no more special than anybody. We are all one as children of God. So the inoculation is twofold. The inoculation is one, to identify intolerance in your own life. Identify where you are intolerant of your own actions. Notice that. So if I notice that I'm intolerant, I can then say, oh, right here, I just beat myself up for yelling at my kid or my kids. I'm intolerant to that behavior. So then I might be intolerant of another person. If I see them yelling at their kid, boy, I am intolerant of that. But if I can see that behavior for the truth of what it is, I lost my temper. The human side of me lost their temper. Is it my favorite? No. I know that I am human doing the best I can in any particular moment. Just as a parent who yelled at their kid, we're all doing the best we can at the level of awareness that we have. As we become more conscious, the yelling isn't as necessary because I don't feel as out of control anymore. Because I know who my kids are, I know who I am. So the need, really yelling is because we're fearful, right? It's fearful. So the less we live in fear, the more we live in love, there is no more. Hi, Melissa, thank you. Hi. The less we experience these frustrations that end us having us yell at our kids or whatever it is. So this is okay. So the one way we heal intolerance, imagine if every human that does not agree with shooting innocent people, what if all of us collectively that woke up and said, hey, I am a child of God just as they are, an aspect of the divine just as they are, and I know who they are. The behavior is not okay. But we could see them for the light that they truly are. And then also, what if our own intolerance? Here's how we heal. We heal it through our own healing of our own intolerance. If you see somebody hitting their kid, one, you may say, hey, you got to stop that. And maybe whoever would need to be brought in, child services, I don't know what that would look like, right? But when you see the person and the act separate, you can send the person the love that they need, that they're desperately needing because they're feeling out of control. Now, what have you done? You have now decided, I'm not intolerant. I see them for who they are. Now the energy that you've now shifted from this intolerance to is love. And that energy is what will heal the planet and ourselves. But it all starts with us first. So where are you intolerant of your own behavior? Where do you notice that you are intolerant, that you never want to do it? You have no tolerance for it. These are the places that when we can see, yes, I am human. I don't love that part of me. I'm going to work on it. But, and when I am, and this is why it's an inoculation, because just like the flu, when you get the flu shot, it doesn't stop the flu from happening, right? It doesn't end it, but it will lessen it. It will lessen the strain. Sometimes you won't get it. Sometimes you'll get a less version of it, a smaller version, or this is my understanding. And so this is how when you inoculate yourself, which is when you remember, oh, I was just being intolerant there. Look at myself being intolerant of me. Oh, I was being intolerant. Okay, Here's totally a place I have been in the past intolerant. I'm on the computer and I need tech support and I get India and somebody doesn't speak English well. And right away, I'm intolerant. I am frustrated. I'm pissed and they haven't said a word. There's growth for me. There's awareness for me there, right? So that's just that. Once I have the awareness of it, now I can lessen the experience of it because now I have choice. Now I can choose to say, oh, who is this? This person is an aspect of the divine, just like I am. They are a child of God. Now, when I can remember that, I move to love. Now, I'm always in my choice, always, always, always in choice on how I'm going to respond. But now, even though I might get frustrated again because they might answer a question that I didn't ask or whatever, as much as I can, I'm going to lessen my intolerance by remembering who they are and then choosing, do I want to stay on the phone? Do I want to do something else? We're never a victim to anything. The only time we're a victim is when we think we're a victim. You are never actually a victim. You're always in power. As long as you have choice, you are never a victim. We choose victimhood or we choose empowerment. We choose love. We choose anything outside of love, which would be fear and any version of that. So from today, so again, Tracy Gritz, Align Living Live. If you want to learn more about Align Living Live, go to www.tracygritz.com and click on the tab that says Align Living Live. Or if you would like to get a text notification of this, then definitely text the word Align, ALIGN, to 3847. And just to recap, as we heal our own intolerance, as you heal your own intolerance, as I heal my own intolerance, as we shift our intolerance, as we choose to choose to shift it into love, that is where we as a planet can heal. So whether you're called to activism or I am or anybody else is, anything rooted in fear anything rooted in love will create more things in love. So if I'm called to activism and I'm standing in the frequency of love, I'm doing this because I see the love that is for everybody and how I can make a difference. That will breathe life into and spread and create more love. As long as we are intolerant of our own selves, our own behavior, the behavior of the person who cut us off, the behavior of the person in India, whatever it is, as long as we are intolerant, we will continue to spread the frequency, the energy, the vibration of intolerance. And there is no difference between my energetic intolerance and the person who did the shooting. I'm just not acting in that way. Same exact energy. This is why this is so powerful and so important. This is how we actually get to make a difference every single day by aligning to our own truth and our own love. Again, the act is different than the person, right? Always. So I always, from my heart to yours, I am Tracy Gritz. And I am so very grateful that you are here on this planet, sharing this oxygen, this energy, and this moment that we are sharing together. From my heart to yours. Bye-bye.